So, nag-stop pala yung recording.
Sir, nawala pala. Baka may mauna muna.
Hindi, wala na. Si Idris lang yung nag-express. Yun lang yung nag-express na mag-represent today eh. Si Idris na yung last. Kaya ikaw na lang talaga kung gusto mo.
Where can I go?
Sure, sige. Sayang din kasi ang oras, di ba?
Oo nga eh.
Wait, sir, so I'll go.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
35 days na lang, either cut. Sana maganda. Christine, magaling ka na? Scared? Oh, wait. Pwede na sa live test.
Okay, sir.
Okay, go ahead.
So, I made some of the general macro site analysis for now. So, I made a figure map. And, I focused na lang din on the common name vicinity. And then I added the borders of the areas nearby because I wanted to focus on how this area is very busy. Like these are all commercial areas, and this is EDSA.
Ja, wala.
So I wanted to show how.
Ja.
Yes.
Icon
You're
lang
not
yun.
presenting.
Huh?
What?
Nasa
It's
file.
not on full screen, Ja. We don't
Oh, no.
see the picture.
Oh no.
Ayun. Akala ko sa
How do I?
Akala ko intro pala.
Okay, wait. Wait lang.
Kinakabahan na yan.
Wait.
Kaya tagal.
Lagot.
Is it working?
No, still just the icons.
What's going on? How come it happened to end?
Oh no. What? Wait. Can I upload it first? Here, you go first. Upload it in Google Drive.
No!
Okay, wait. I'll try uploading it muna.
Lance, baka pwede ka na.
Ayaw mag-download ng file, sir. Teka lang.
Okay.
Game, teka ako na muna.
Okay, go ahead. Pulang-pula.
Okay, so ito yung site which is in Manila. Satellite map,
Ganda na image.
bodies of water.
Ano?
Okay, photographer.
Okay.
Figure ground map, contour map,
Na.
depth
I-poster ka.
footprint. Ito, yung park. So ito lang yung feel ko na may influence talaga since kitang-kita dito na there's no green space around the area. Etong ano lang, kitna. And this one isn't even green space kasi
Puro concrete.
naka-tiles siya. It's a plaza. So, very lacking talaga sa plants. And this the ingress and egress. So, yun. Sa party ko, medyo magulo siya kasi di pa ako nakapili talaga ng gagawin. So, yun. Puro iteration muna.
Okay.
So, this is the starting point for the plant. So, this where you can either seed or cut from a mother plant. So, cloning yung cutting. So, from this 5x5 box, which is usually may mga tray, which is propagation tray. Dun para marami.
Wait lang, may plant
And
ka
then,
ng marijuana, di ba?
yes, sir.
Okay. Sige, go ahead.
Okay. So, let's move to, I'm not sure what to call it, pero parang ano siya, perforated net bag. So, that's where it roots. And then, when it roots, it starts the vegetation stage, going to potting and then repotting. So, ito yung sa propagation tray. Ginawa kong grid. Tapos, yung sa grid, kumuha ko ng isang part na sa isang line, tapos hang it on a ceiling. Kasi yung idea is, yung buong ceiling, it's full of plants rather than the usual na nasa edge lang, nasa windows lang. So, how to achieve it is by using a translucent roofing, which is polycarbonate, since it's reusable. And then, this is the larger pots. It's kasi yung cannabis, since they need 16 hours of light. There's a grow light here. It's structured in a way na nasa corner siya, which is designed to connect with this one. So when you connect it, you're gonna get something like this. Ay. And so these are the iterations I got from lining them up like this. Pwede mag-double since it's hung from the ceiling. it's doubled here, and then I changed the direction here. But one problem I came across is, since it's a box, may mga space na hindi nagagamit fully by the plant. So it's not optimized. So I looked for a shape that's more interlocked. So what I got is hexagon, parang yung kay Aaron. So the idea is there's a T5 lamp touching every hexagon, at least on one side. So
Okay lang na T5 lang?
actually, what do you mean, sir? Yung size or
Di ba UV something light yung ginagamit? Okay lang ba na T5 ordinary light fixture lang?
T5 grow lights po pala. T5 grow lights.
Okay. Okay.
Ito. T5 grow lights. Kaya siya medyo purple since yung light talaga niya is purple. So one thing to note then, when I use the translucent material for the structure, pag gabi, edi yung buong structure parang kulay purple. Ayun. So I'm finding a way to make the system more cohesive with each other pa na yung mga shape pwede mag-fit sa larger ones which are
What are the larger ones?
kasi yung process, diba, may repot twice. So
Right.
this the smaller pot and the larger pot.
Okay.
So yun. Medyo magulo pa kasi.
Okay.
So another iteration is yung having it vertical na pwede i-going horizontal. So having that, I can manipulate the architecture more sa mga walls. Instead of walls, I'm gonna have these. Pero like what I said, medyo magulo pa. And then for the stakeholders, since I'm located in Binondo, there's a school right beside my site. Kapag gabi, it's being used by people to do Tai Chi. It's away from parang yoga na Chinese. Parang shadow boxing. Well, it's actually shadow boxing. So I'm gonna find a way to incorporate that into the marijuana farm, since mangyayari dun is it's a wellness center na. Pero kulang pa yung sheets ko dun sa Tai Chi.
That's okay. I think aside from Tai Chi, kasi Tai Chi is too easy. Like you just provide an open space. It doesn't really inform or doesn't really generate a complex study. What I think is connected that you mentioned before is the production of like raw materials for medicine. Tama?
Yes.
So like with all of this circus happening with the propagation of the marijuana plant, what is the environment that you are sheltering with this parties? So yeah, I know, you have to answer that. But I think you already have. You just have to define it and concretize.
Okay.
Okay, di ba raw materials ka? So do you need to make it a powder? Do you need to put it in a bottle? Siyempre, meron ka rin dyan areas for purchasing it. May areas ka rin for maybe. And then kasama din yung Tai Chi.
Actually, sir, meron may processes na it's very scientific. So I'm not sure if I'm gonna put it there, like my carbon dioxide something. So it's not very architectural. It's just like what you said, putting a machine into architecture.
So I mean, when I say that correct ka naman, Pero ang goal natin is, as an architect, how do we use the architecture, yung capability natin to produce that? Are we capable? Kasi, for example, biomimicry, ecological design, we can look at nature. For instance, it's air conditioned, there's a termite mound. I get it. I really think that we can replicate it in a bigger scale. So we have capabilities like that. So although I know I'm not doubting naman when he said carbon dioxide, baka mahirap gawin. Oh, pwede na, pero baka lang alam mo 'yun, if ang goal natin kasi there's a way for us to replicate what machine can do by using physicality and physics, science, etc. You get it? So
Okay.
don't stop yourself if kung pwede naman.
Okay. So yung mga party ko, sir, masyado bang magulo or something?
It's very organized. It looks good.
So, do you think I should make more iterations?
For
Kasi
now,
medyo
okay na
I
muna.
can see the...
I think we
Okay.
can produce more. Prioritize mo muna yung requirement next week. Actually, pag na-prioritize mo yun, it might generate more ideas. There's a tendency to generate more ideas. And then magmarami pa tayo i-tweak. So we meet, like I said, the process is we go back and forth. Then you go, and then if you have extra time, then produce more iterations. Because the moment you identify the program, you can already identify the architectural elements around it. Like if the marijuana production or harvesting can work with the program that you're thinking of.
Okay, sir. I'm getting scared lang na what if I do it very yung parang hiwalay-hiwalay tas parang pinagdikit-dikit lang. Di ba parang magiging parang chop suey?
But we need to do it to find out. It's
Okay.
like that. Like I think Cook pointed out earlier, kaya ang exploration to test it out. When you were talking about, tama ka naman doon kasi hindi nang maging criticism ko sa mga work. That's why I also not naman rejected but I disapprove the direction of ano bang word? I forgot na eh. Like I don't want it to be just like kay Tracy. Na kailangan kasi organic yung combination niya, which I think you got naman. That's why you're having that dilemma. And that's a problem that we need to solve.
Okay. How about the Tai Chi, sir? Like you said,
I think
bibigyan na ng space, yun na yun eh.
kasi space lang yun eh. Pwede siya mag-work eh, pero tingin ko meron ka pang pwedeng i-explore.
Mm.
Pwede ka, kasi hindi mo pwedeng open space lang gagawin mo, di ba? So parang design one problem na yan.
Mm.
Sige,
Meron akong idea, sir.
shell, alam mo yun?
Paano kung i-manipulate ko siya on the z-axis? Parang enough na ba yun? Hindi ko lang kasi sure kasi kaya di ko ginawa.
Pwede naman, pero anong goal? Kasi ginawa mo na yung mga rotating kanina eh. May nakita ko siya nag-rotate eh.
Oo.
So, it doesn't really answer the question kung mag-converge sa program. I think what you need to do is go muna to the program and see if it's going to work. So identify the stakeholders and then create a create a flowchart and bubble diagram. And then the moment you create a bubble diagram, you can see if it's going to be compatible. You can already imagine the spaces alongside the bubble diagram if they are going to work together. Kung mag-mesh ba siya. And if it can create more spaces. For example, you are thinking of what do you call it? Treating the, I don't know kung may treatment facility ka eh. Alam mo yun. So the harvesting goes directly to the treatment facility.
Mm.
O kaya ano pa ba?
Parang wellness center lang.
Oh, ganun. Pero
Picture.
you need to create a program, a more complex program, other than, you yeah, you need to create a more complex program.
Okay. Okay, sir. Noted. Thank you, sir. Is there more pa ba?
Yeah, nothing
No,
else. Okay na.
nothing else. Thank
Unless
you, sir.
may question ka pa.
Ay, ayusin ko na lang yung direction ko for next week.
Okay.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Janelle, ikaw na yata. Nag-work na?
I'll try.
If not, I'll be the one to load it.
Um,
Yan, nag-work na. Pero, yung folder lang to eh. Ayan.
mababa lang.
Sige ako na lang. Kasi malalaki yung files mo eh, ever since. Like-
Yes. Yeah, okay.
Let me try, ah.
Okay.
Okay, I'll be the one to share, ha?
Okay, sir.
Okay, can you see it?
Sir, do I just skip the site analysis part?
Okay, so this is not the one.
No. Those are just extra sheets that I have.
So this one?
Wait, not in order kasi sir.
Okay, it's fine. First,
Site analysis na lang.
wow. Wow. Oh. Parang Harvard ang gumawa.
Okay. Okay.
Parang Harvard student ang gumawa. Kasi they visited last time here eh. So, I saw their works.
They did?
Yeah, a Harvard graduate school, they were with Moshen Mustafavi, and Moshen was the dean of the Architectural Association, and then he was partnered with Harvard, GSD. And then they did the Manila, yung pinakita ko before they did that actually, ginawa na namin yung mapping that I showed you with Jaime Canapi in the example maps for Manila Harbor Center. They did exactly the same site. So, they presented it in Tramuros. It was a big event. Pero yung presentation lang naman ng ideas. Then I said to myself, when I saw the works, kaya to ng binild na undergrad, masters na yun. Ha? Okay. Hindi ko na macro mo, alam ko nang okay na yun.
Okay.
Sige. Let's go na lang to I think this is more important.
Yeah, the reason why I was alanganan to present was because this week I was sort of in a slump. I didn't know where to go, like direction wise. So um
But
there's one sheet there about
this is not the one. It's my first time to see
no
this.
no no this one is mamaya pa, but one of the pictures there,
Six,
I
five.
think it's 03 W503.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so I didn't really know what direction to go to, so I researched again on weavers of the Philippines, since there are only limited weavers who weave abaca fibers in the Philippines, and one of them are the Tiboli tribe weavers, and they call them the dream weavers in South Cotabato, where they have like they're essentially called like the land of weavers, and that's because based on their culture they have like um this tradition where they don't just design their woven fabrics on whatever design they want to. Like they have this folklore where the abaca has a spirit, and that spirit visits them in their dreams and gives them those design ideas. And so like their sacred tradition is um that because that fabric is so like um sacred to them, they have to practice this ritual of the weavers have to rest for a long while, sort of like hibernating, where they practice like abstinence, and they don't really do other irrelevant activities while they're doing that weaving process, because it might obstruct in their like um in the sacredness of the activity. So I took that as inspiration, like the direction that I wanted to go to potentially. So because I was so intrigued by like the idea of like dreams and having like a an impact on their activity, I looked into dreams, and for some reason I thought about um there was this one scene where um one of the characters like Ariadne she designed for the dream sequence that they were about to like partake in, and it was a labyrinth, and I was super I was like, like maybe I could help in how I would create like a labyrinth or like a okay, I'm back.
Okay. We got it.
Okay, so yeah, I researched about labyrinths because I wanted to find something that would sort of make me string together like the weaving foundational to design on. So yeah, so you can go to the other sheet. Sure.
Mm. Okay, go ahead.
Okay. There's another sheet before that explaining the way a labyrinth works. It's a picture. I think it's the last one. Yeah. Okay. So when I researched on the labyrinth, I found that based on um ancient beliefs and theories and myths, the labyrinth is like an unambiguous route. So it's like a single path that doesn't give any like navigational challenge. So it's just one route where you wouldn't have. It's not like a maze where you have to diverge in different paths trying to find a way. It's that you just one route where there's one start and one end. And psychologically they refer to this um geometry as a symbol of like wholeness and unity because it's practiced in psychotherapy and other meditative um therapies where there's a need to like retrace back like um your energy and like return equilibrium to the body. So scientifically this geometry gives a sense of like relaxation whenever a person walks through it. So um it lowers the breathing, slows the heart rate, and lowers blood pressure. And it even they say that it synthesizes rational thinking and intuitive creativity. So I looked to this as sort of something that I could work with in different aspects the of the architecture. So sir, you can go to the sheet with the diagrams of the terraces.
This one?
Um, Another one. There's like six of them, six terraces.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one. Okay. So this one, I sort of tried to um make a physical manifestation of that idea, but since if I were to move forward with this like concept, I'd probably use something else dependent on like the floor plan. But for now, like I just tried to with this shape, with this sample labyrinth to see how it would work in my planting. So so I talked about this before, but abaca it grows on sloped areas. It thrives off of like slope areas, and I talked about how if the slope is too steep, it's better to have um, terraced layouts. So here I broke it down where first I have a regular terraced areas, and that's already considering um, the height of the potential root depth of an abaca plant. So that's like 1 meter. And then I broke it down more by placing landings. Um, and then I extruded some areas where I think where potential plants could be situated in. And then this is where I incorporated a sort of labyrinth. Um, I highlighted this one quadrant because I wanted to test it only in like one area, but ideally it would cover like an entire area. And then so here I incorporated like steps, and then I had the I added the plants. But then generally the idea is that with the labyrinth, because as I said a while ago, like going through a labyrinth, like strolling through a labyrinth, it's a meditative walk. And I wanted to touch on the walking culture of Kamaning. Like I mentioned it in one like the first weeks that like um Kamaning culture is more about strolling through the area and buying in the market and visiting all the other stalls. It's rare that you see um people drive in private cars. It's usually just public transportation and like walking. And there's a lot of students also that walk by, so it's really a culture there. So I wanted to um include that walking culture in the structure. And then the other thing about the reason why the labyrinth would be a good incorporations because um tailors, like what I said about like the tradition of the weavers, they need to focus a lot on their work, and so they need a lot of rest. And with the busy environment of Kamuning, there's so much noise. And I have a research about how the Kamuning vicinity could could the noise level of the Kamuning vicinity could go up to the level of 100 decibels. So that's very harmful for um people who really situate themselves in the area, like the vendors. So if they're really focusing on their craft, the busy environment and the noisy environment might be a hinder to their craft. And so this this sort of method of meditative walking could help um relieve from their like stresses. And then it also enhances their creative thinking. And this is generally just one um idea, one part of a like potential program of the building. It could be like a communal area. And so you can go to the zoomed in version. I
Okay.
have one sheet that's zoomed in.
There. Ayun, may mini hagdanan. Okay.
Yeah. So that's like I said a while ago, it's just an iteration. So it's probably not as feasible as it could be. So I added considerations here like circulation strategies, like maybe how to decrease the amount of steps, but sort of achieve that continuous circulation and maximize the placing of the plants. And then different, maybe there are potentially different geometric varieties that I could explore. And this place could be like a communal space. But then I don't know, this I just think that this could be like sort of like a feature that I could explore in the future. And then um I don't have sheets for this, but then the reason why I also have a labyrinth is because the single path route would sort of connect to the harvesting to weaving process, because it's a very long process. I have a sort of, I don't know if it's a bubble diagram, or I don't know, I sort of space programmed it. It's there. It's like a radial, I have a sheet there.
Okay.
It's parang circles siya, and then I sort of space programmed generally
Okay.
that one. I sort of space programmed the processes in hopes that like the flow would connect to each other. So using um this radial thing in connection to the labyrinth could help me make a floor plan in the future. So about the single path route, like from the outside where the planting and the harvesting of the leaves and the stem would be going inwards.
Yeah, go ahead. Just talk.
Okay, going inwards. So the diagram, the outside would be the plants potentially to mitigate the noise. I have a sheet from last term there that talked about how abacus is a good noise absorber. So the noise from outside would be blocked from the white noise inside. And then there are other processes such as the drying of the fibers that could potentially be used as like barriers for noise noise absorption also. And each ring would potentially have a different purpose for different processes of the abaca propagation. And then in the center is where the weaving and the beating and the burnishing and the sewing, where all the main activity of like textile production would happen. And that's sort of like the general idea. But then I was also thinking about how I could incorporate another program to hybridize the structure instead of just um, textile production. So I thought about, since this labyrinth is very meditative, it could be, I could use the existing processes of the weaving, such as like the rinsing of the fibers in like a river. I could potentially use that as an idea where I could incorporate it towards like a spa like resort type, so that um the tailors and the weavers would sort of have like a break from their work where they could just like rest their mind. And um
Ang ano
yeah,
naman,
so
kasi naman nila.
yeah, because I don't know, I just sort of wanted to like uh sort of give them, oh yeah, the buster, wait, I'm going off topic, but then the buster, you were like, oh, are you going to give them like their own space to sell, or are you going to leave them be in like the market? And then I said that I would leave them in the market because it's like I'm taking away their livelihood or whatever. But then I think now I'm rethinking it, and then I was like, what if I move the people who sell textiles and make textiles to another typology from the market, where the market would just be just the wet goods. And since Kamaning is known to be like a textile like center, I would give that place identity by giving them their own structure where it's also a communal space. So what if I move the tailors and the textile sellers to this area and give them
Yeah, I
their
agree.
own culture?
Yeah, I'm not so excited about the
Yeah.
spa because in terms of a demographic, I'm not sure if they're the type who take a break and go to the spa or go to a hotel.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah,
So,
that's
but
where I was like in a slump because I feel like I was just sort of forcing something because I didn't have anything else to like hybridize on.
second one is more actually the hybrid naman kasi is like the last resort. Do you get it?
Yeah, yeah.
But the ideal one is
something that should be organic with the site and organic with the
Mm-hmm.
topic that you pick. Uh, the market is good because you know why? Because I was thinking, I also don't agree kasi baka subjective yung walking. Although I walk nowadays to increase my
Mm-hmm.
daily activity. But for some people, they claim, actually may YouTube tutorial pa nga na it's therapeutic daw. Probably it's true, you know, but I don't think it's for everyone kasi iba napapagod, tapos
Mm-hmm.
may hagdanan pa. So, baka ma-stress
Yeah.
pa yung iba dyan. So it's
Yeah.
perspective. Pero in my ano naman, in my head, probably it's going to work for some people. But the maze I think can work as a different entrances to different probably when you have the retail shops inside already. You know what I mean? Um like you have a different entrance for a certain I don't know product like that. So like you're still utilizing the craziness of the maze, the pattern of the maze, but probably there's a destination. You cannot just walk around and get lost. It's baka mamaya
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I mean, maybe at first it's a novelty experience, but the moment you experience it, I don't think people will go back to do that again. Okay? But if it's going to be purposeful, let's say a program wherein it's a destination, kasi you walk kunyari, around nice cities like Europe because it's walkable and you're entertained by the architecture, by the sceneries, etc. In Manila, you can't do that because we don't have proper sidewalks. It's dirty, it's polluted, and there are only areas that are walkable. And in this particular case, um, parang you need to be health conscious fitness enthusiast to actually go through that experience, that maze idea. I love the
Yeah.
form. I love the diagrams that you showed. In fact, I would encourage you to probably, if you can use it already, but I'm not sure yet. But I'm on that stage already that encouraging you to use it, but finding purpose for it. And the purpose is really to make it like it's a walking space, but you have a destination. You cannot just wander without any reasons. No, but
Yeah, I think that's where the labyrinth works because it's a one route type of like geometry where there's one entrance and one exit. So you really experience the whole thing.
yeah, I agree. So what do you call that? Was about and then but I like and then you maintain that idea na you got it from the walking culture of the place. Yeah, that's why you have the
Yeah.
maze-like idea. So it still works. The maze-like idea, but you need to put the destination, and then the terracing works with the abaka, and the weaving area, and then the store, the dry goods area. That is, nobody has done. Kasi when you see dry goods areas, even in Middle Eastern countries, basically it's stalls lang naman yan eh. So in a way, you're redesigning a different kind of bazaar. Sa Iran,
Mm-hmm.
where bazaar originated, uh, all the different products yun. Pero the way I imagine it's puro sila tela din, ganyan. So in your case, you have a textile market with the abaka around it. And um, and then you have that experience when shopping for uh shopping for that. And then you can also see how it's being done. Kunyari ako, designer ako, fashion designer ako. I'll be glad to go there because like parang going this like a ritual. Like kasi pyramid pa itsura ng ano mo. Mukhang pyramid pa yung itsura ng building mo. So how do you do that in a way na mukha siyang
Yeah.
ritualistic, ceremonial? Nawala siya. Sige. After Janil ba meron pa? Chinil, you're there. Sorry. What was the last thing that you...
Sorry, sir. My Wi-Fi. I the last thing I heard was in Europe.
Ano? Yeah, the
Um,
bazaar sa Iran. Iran,
yeah,
our bazaar originated. In your case, kasi mukhang pyramid pa yung ano mo. Like, if you're a
yeah,
fashion designer, you go to this place to get your textiles, it becomes ritualistic and ceremonial because that's where it's
yeah,
being done, that's where it's being harvested, that's where it's being weaved. Probably you can even ask the weaver to do it a certain way if you're the designer. Do you get it? So,
mm,
to
yeah,
create patterns for you. Do you follow? So,
yeah.
I think nakita ko nabubuo siya eh. Medyo complex lang talaga yung program and complex na yung interior. Uh,
Mm,
I see it colorful eh also. Alam mo yun? Para pupunta ng
yeah,
parang pupunta ng India kasi parang isang pyramid.
yeah,
Ganun ang dating
yeah. Kind of. Me too. Um, I sort of see it as like each part is like a different ritual experience.
yes. Yun
It's
nga
like
lang.
it's like going back to like their tradition where they see it as sacred because each part is like a whole experience.
Yes. You
Something
need
like
to
that.
you need to think of the interior kasi pyramid yan, nasa ilalim ka ng pyramid mo na steps, di ba? So yun ang may ano, how do you penetrate, how do you uh, allow air to go in, etc. Marami mga ways na.
Mm,
So
yeah, yeah.
I would imagine it is to have rays of light because limited yung access din ng light, ano mo yun. So it's gonna be a very dramatic rendering or yeah. Uh, and then ano ba? Tawag doon. Ayun, the way I imagine it, if Sir Jerry is going to criticize it, I think he will find your source. If there's a Filipino angle from the idea na mukhang pyramid or maze, etc. So, hanapan niyo yun. Baka meron ka lang makita. Kasi kung ang form was like that, kasi nga terracing siya, di ba? Is there,
Yeah, yeah.
we talk about terraces. Rice terraces ba relevant sa weaving? Alam mo yun, try to create
Mm,
connections. Alright?
like a more Filipino centered connection
Yes, kasi
to the form.
like itong nagawa mo na, itong na-prepare mo na ano yung saan siya nag-aalud para magkaroon siya ng relevance sa Filipino culture. Kasi you're talking about weaving eh. You're also talking about ritual and then you're talking about kamuning and I remember that it's a barong area so Filipino in a way. So if you're para
Yeah.
kasi maging target market mo dyan, mga fashion designers na naghahanap ng mga kakaibang tela. Alam mo yon. So it's like
Mm,
going to be a temple of tela, alam mo yun?
yeah.
That's
Yeah.
how I see it. So, na-excite ako pero feeling ko kulang ang oras. So, but it will be a very good project to complete. And pagdating naman sa rendering, pwede natin i-forgo yun later on. Pwede naman on the side na lang yun.
Mm,
Pero at least mabuo yung project and details.
mm.
Yun.
Okay.
I'm excited. At least nabubuo yung, parang buo-buo na yung sa'yo, although hindi pa siya talaga, wala pang material, pero the idea is there. Okay?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Janil.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, sir.
Pierre, gusto mo ba o ano? May sakit ka pa?
Sir, I sent you a DM. Can you, ano na lang,
Okay, sige.
Zoom, yeah.
Okay. Wait lang ha. Stop share ko muna. Madami pa pala.
Sir, not on Facebook, on Zoom.
On Zoom. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, sige, no problem. Pero dinner muna ako. Hindi pa ako makain.
Yeah, okay lang, sir.
Okay, sige. Sige, no problem.
Okay, thanks, sir.
Kasi sorry medyo late na kasi hindi pa ako nagdi-dinner din kasi. So, kain lang ako and then I'll go back to you. Okay?
Sure, sir.
All right.
Thank you.
Ito ba yung gusto? Guys who are still here, I can still see your names. Okay. So, DM mo na lang kung siya kayo magsalita. if you want a one-on-one consultation, we can do it after here, or probably we can do it tomorrow. I'll schedule it na lang. So just let me know through Facebook Messenger. I'll message you na lang here later sa Facebook Messenger.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Okay, see you guys. Bye.
Right, sir.
Bye.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir.